Hi everyone, welcome to my first live. Today I will be joined by some guests and we will be talking about the whole of the 2024 season and the 2025 season. So let me bring in, we've got George, who is Coaster Glitch.
Hello.
We've got Keza, who is Kieran. You're on mute. There we go.
Hello.
Oh wait, it won't let me mute. There we go. We have Seb, who is Thrilling Rides.
Way.
And we have My Theme Park Journeys.
Hey, welcome.
So welcome in, everyone. So first, I think we'll start off with the 2024 season.
What about it?
So, well, first, let me get to it. Jesus. Right. First question: what is all of your favorite new rides that you've done this year?
Hyperia.
Probably like Ride to Happiness, because it's just Ride to Happiness.
Yeah, that is one I want to do.
In terms of UK, Hyperia.
Yeah.
International Shambhala.
Oh,
Fair.
Shambhala's amazing.
I was going to say UK, I'd have to go with Hyperia, and I think that would probably go UK across the board.
Yeah, it is a good one.
For ride
You
experience, yes, but for theming, no.
Yeah, valid.
Fair. That is a fair point. You said?
Just in general, Hyperia. Really, I didn't really go to any abroad parks this year, but
Yeah.
Hyperia has just been incredible. So just that.
Yeah, fair. I think in the UK, mine was definitely Hyperia. I think everyone is, if not Nemesis Reborn, if you count it. But outside of the UK, definitely Zarja. I absolutely love it. It's literally my favourite coaster. Next question. What is your favourite trip that you've done this year?
Oh. Several.
Do we mean like day on park or like a trip in general? Like
a trip in general.
Okay.
I'm probably going to say for me, mine was actually Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach for their Fairground Frights event. It was actually, the whole atmosphere was so good. You could sort of have multiple runs through the mazes. You didn't have to buy separate tickets.
Yeah.
There were so many roaming actors. That was a brilliant night for us. We really enjoyed that one.
I've been to Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach, but I haven't actually done that event because I haven't been since I was little. I really want to check it out. I'll have to, definitely.
It's a good one.
Far. Isn't it by Norfolk?
Yes, it's not too far for us. It's only an hour and a half away. So
yeah,
it's worth a visit though. It's really good atmosphere.
I think my favorite trip is probably there's several, but I think the highlight is my only day off I got during Fright Nights going as a guest.
Oh yeah, you told me about that. Do you want to share what happened?
So basically, because I worked Fright Nights, I kind of knew everyone in mazes. Basically, I had a frequent frights pass in quotation marks, and basically didn't really have to pay to go in mazes. I got violated in every single one of them except traders. In survival games, I was kept in there for an hour and a half. They would not let me leave. I was put in the victim chair in pre-show. I was put in the electric chair. And one of the characters, Big Daddy, basically dragged me around on all fours along the floor in arena. I got baptized. I got bullied in that maze, and it's funniest thing. I had 5 chainsaws in exit because they saw me in there and they grabbed all the chainsaws out of storage and I had 5 chainsaws on finale.
Oh my god, that's insane. What about you, Seb?
Well, I'd say either doing Hyperia for the first time a few days after it opened, whilst I reopened,
Yeah.
That was good. That was a good day.
Yeah, probably that. Or when I think it was the first day they were open until 8 during summer.
Oh, that was a
Yeah.
good day.
Yeah,
That
I'd
was
say
a great day.
I'd say
It was so dead because
yeah,
it rained. And everyone
Hyperia,
left.
that one, or the last day of Fight Nights, probably my 3 favourite there.
Yeah. What about you, George?
I think it was either probably because I like did a huge road trip abroad, to some parks. I think it was either, you know, like in September, the day before Fantasy Island, actually, when it tipped it down at Towers.
The 20th of September.
I think it was like the 21st or something.
Yeah.
Because there were like loads of us, it made the day better, even though it was cut short by the rain.
Yeah.
Or just like getting the last train of the day on Ride Happiness, but not only the last train, because it was only on one train and there were always spaces. I got the third to last train, second to last train, and the last train somehow.
Well, I think going to theme parks just generally in a group is better. It's like the more people, the more fun it is.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you
admit
go with
there's-
people who like the rides that you do, which is
Mhm.
tough for me because it's rare to find people who can lap Colossus as much as I do.
Yeah.
But when you find people that enjoy the rides that you do, it just makes it even better.
Exactly.
Like me and you with the Big C.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think my body could cope lapping Colossus after the last challenge I did.
Yeah. Fair
82
enough.
times in a day killed me on Colossus.
Wow.
Okay.
Anyway,
one
I
of-
think
One of my best
Smart.
memories from that sort of time has been like we'd taken my little nephew on like some of his rides for the first time and getting to see
Aw.
like that first time reaction. That's just like,
Yeah.
I love getting to, especially if they're like got that element of like fear in them already, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm really scared. Like, haha, you're going to enjoy it whether you like it or not.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
fair.
Evil
I
Uncle.
I think mine is definitely Energylandia. It was just like experiencing an abroad theme park for the first time was like a core memory of 2024 for me, especially as there was my first RMC, which is now my favourite coaster, which is obviously Zaja. Experiencing Hyperion, I realised that was very overrated. It's very rough.
Is
And
it?
Abyssus is, yeah, it is. And Abyssus is heavily underrated. It's really fun. So yeah, I recommend you go to Energylandia if you haven't been. Oh, we've got another person joining. We've got Darren.
Hold on, headphones aren't working. Here we go.
Darren is under teeth.
He's at a rave.
I know, he is raving.
It's normally me.
I know, it is normally you. This is a change,
Yeah, but
isn't it?
like I said, half my setup has not been rebuilt yet.
Yeah. Anyway, let's ask Darren the question. What is your favourite trip that you've done this year?
Hold on
I
a
think he said
second.
his headphones aren't working.
Oh, and it's still not working.
No, this is
Oh.
annoying. Because I'm not using the computer, I'm using my tablet.
I'm using mine as well. And my headphones just died, they're being taken off. Oh well.
That is working.
Take your headphones out.
Yeah, but then you're going to get mic echo. Can you
Are
hear
you?
me?
That's
Oh.
true. Yeah, we can
Yeah.
hear you.
Am I echoing?
Not
No.
really.
Okay, that's all right then. I don't need the headphones in that case.
Anyway, let's ask you the question. What is your
What's the
favourite
question?
trip that you've done this year?
My favourite trip.
Yeah.
Are we talking about highlights?
Yeah, we are.
That's all right then. So, Energylandia
Agreed.
was easily my best trip. Absolutely love the park, even if it is full of Vekoma clones. But yeah, Energylandia definitely my best trip.
Don't they have
Yeah.
like one of every Vekoma Junior coaster that's been like
they've got
every
two of
type.
some of them.
Oh yeah, the
Jesus.
Vekoma boomerangs.
They got two. They got two boomerangs, although they are different layouts. And then they got two Vekoma Juniors, Frida, and what was the other one?
I don't know.
Energis.
It's not
I think.
Draken, is it?
Might be. I can't remember.
But it's mad
Yeah.
that they've got that like low level of coaster, and then they've got Zadra and Hyperion like right up at the other end. It's mad.
Energy
Fair enough.
The coaster at Energylandia that they have, the other junior coaster is Energis.
Oh,
Energy, that's right. It's the funny dragon one, isn't it?
And bearing in mind, Energylandia is quite a new theme park, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Anyway, next question. What is your favourite theme park that you visited?
All time or of 2024?
Of 2024.
Hmm.
I'll
Got that.
start then, because nobody has any ideas. I'd say Legendia or Fantasy Island, because Legendia was just a funny day. I mean, let coaster set on fire.
That's just
Right, I'll explain the story.
skill issue.
I got to Legendia. I was gonna be there for like a couple hours just to lap Let Coaster, because you know it's like world famous. So I got over there ready to get on, and it was shut. So there was like engineers on the track, and we were talking to them. We was like, "Hey, what's happening?" And they said that it set fire. So we
Right.
like went off doing a couple other rides for like an hour. Went back, and they were still working on it. Then we got in the queue for it, and it broke again. So we had to wait another 2 hours, and then finally got on. It was actually,
That
God,
just seems like a skill issue.
Was it worth the wait at least?
no.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, no, it was not worth it. It was actually dreadful. Well, not the coaster, it was good, but the wait was dreadful.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
has anyone got one?
I've got
Portaventura.
two.
Mm.
I was going to say Park Asterix again and Portaventura.
Yeah,
But I have to say, Portaventura only wins it on the theming because the rides are actually mid.
I agree.
I don't know, I haven't been.
I've only ever been there once and I was very drunk, so I don't remember much of that trip.
To be fair,
I was on my way
right.
back from Ibiza. Cut me some slack.
To be absolutely fair, riding Furious Baco drunk is probably the best way to do it.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
That's a good
Right.
point. Numbs the
Wild
senses.
So painful.
Wild opinion about Furious Baco on the front row on a wing seat. May I add, on a wing seat? So like, normally wing seats on wing coasters are worse. Front row on a wing seat is okay.
Shambhala.
know, I haven't been on
what? Number 2. Does anyone agree with Andy's comment?
Hang on. I think I'd have to agree with that.
I've got it as
exactly.
number 4.
I'd
I
say it's
can't
in my
have an opinion.
top 3, bearing in mind I have done like things like Cedar Point and Six Flags before, so it's in
Yeah.
my top 3.
Yeah, that's good. Have
It's
you
also-
got one, Seb?
Yes, yeah.
No, I literally just did like Thorpe, Chessington, and Legoland all for this year. So again, it would have to be Thorpe Park, which no surprise, but that.
Yeah, everyone loves Thorpe.
Who
Yeah,
doesn't?
but Hyperia's at Thorpe Park, and that's my number 2. Having done Energylandia and Portaventura, Hyperia is still my number 2.
Hyperia's number 6 for me.
It's my number
Hyperia
2.
counts as
Hyperia's 2 for me, and Tutatis is number 1.
Hyperia is also number 2 for me, but that's because Colossus is just better than that. So that's why that's number 1. It's been my number 1 for 7 years, and it will stay there.
What, Colossus will?
Yeah.
What are you going to do when they get rid of it?
I don't want to think about that. I probably have to move to China to ride that clone. God knows what I'll do.
Because it's on end of life now, isn't it?
Yeah, I might just have to protest or like swing hands, but like I reckon it's got another good few years left in it, so I'll just have to make most
Hopefully.
of it then.
5 max.
Considering they've just
5 is better
repainted
than
it.
none. 5 is better than none.
Yeah.
I'd
I
say
agree.
5 years with the retrack that is still yet to go ahead.
The retract's cancelled. Just to put that out there.
Oh well, Colossus
Yeah.
is fine. It's smooth. It doesn't need it.
Actually, it's run better this year than it has the last
Agreed.
2 years.
Yes,
Mhm.
I agree with that. That is the best year for Colossus so far.
It has been. It's been
Mm.
it's one of its more reliable years, and it's been
Yeah.
the best rideable years.
Oh yeah, it's ran so good. Like even in the very back row, which is where I really enjoy to ride it, it's been absolutely fine.
Yeah.
I even quite like the little bits of like little extra bits of astronomical theming that they've sort of like
Yeah.
tried to incorporate into
Yeah,
it. It sort of
exactly.
gives it a little bit more of a story, a little bit more of a theme, which is I think what
Yeah.
they need to try and sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the
agree,
merchandise
definitely.
they've come
Because the
back
thing
as
is, you've got that beautiful fountain of like the Medusa's head sitting down in the pit, which you know, and really, why not sort of try and emphasize that onto the ride or whatever? I
Exactly.
don't know. I think that's a wasted bit of theme in there.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I agree.
Totally with you on that. I think Colossus's
Mhm.
theming is wasted because
Mhm.
the story hasn't been explained.
No, well, they
And
sort
I
of
do-
changed it this year. Like before, the theme was literally that it's got 10 inversions, and now they're kind of like, oh, it's
Yeah.
like celestial stargazing. Like they kind of changed it, but didn't really
Mhm.
explain that. They just kind of repainted the area and were like, okay, it's going it's going down like a different theming route now.
Yeah. Definitely.
Stylized, which is
Yeah.
a sort of a running thing in Merlin at the minute. I think,
I
Agreed.
agree.
apart from Nemesis Reborn, obviously, I do
Yeah.
think that was done really well. But
Mhm.
I think stylizing though is to be seen across a lot of Europe, especially hypercoasters.
Yeah,
Hyperion
it's happening a lot more.
isn't really massively themed. Shambhala isn't massively themed. They are stylized into a certain
are.
look.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, and I've had this argument with so many people about Hyperia and it needs theming, but most hypercoasters don't have it. I think Silver
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 Star.
Star.
Silver Star
yeah.
isn't exactly themed. I mean, I know
Yeah.
that's a Mac, obviously hyper, but the one that's over in Turkey, Hyperia's twin,
Land of Legend.
Hypercoaster.
Yeah.
virtually no theming.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the thing with that is that it's hard to theme a hypercoaster. So the most you'd get is a good themed queue line and a good station. Like
Yeah, exactly.
you'd be way above the theming. It's not like the smaller coasters like Taron, you can weave in between that. They're not going to build like 200 foot tall theming structures. So it kind of makes sense. Like they can kind of get away with it with hypercoasters because you're not going to be riding on that theming because you're way above it.
I get your point, Andy.
I agree.
I thought that Shambhala's queue line, I agree.
Oh no,
Entrance
not that.
and the queue line a bit. I thought the station then just became a bit concrete.
Not that queue line.
Not
that.
But I think Hyperia's could be better. I think, you know, the station is all right. It's a good station, but the queue line is awful.
They definitely could have done more.
They could have done so much more with that Hyperion queue line.
Definitely.
Personally, in my opinion, when you look at sort of icons like that stylization, like that's the sort of the level of sort of stylization that I think Hyperia should be having. Look,
That's what I thought it was going to be for Hyperia because I love Icon. It's one of my favorite Macs.
Same.
Going from Icon Station to Hyperia Station is like
I know.
a bit more.
Oh, I love Icon. Anyway, next question. What is all of you use? Like, what is your favourite coaster?
Colossus.
Zadra.
Twisted Colossus.
Rot Happiness.
I'm going to be a bit controversial because I always think it's a really hard question because are you saying like sort of steel coasters, wooden coasters, because they all offer sort of like really different sort of experiences.
Yeah.
So, and to be quite honest, I've not really done many sort of parks abroad. That's sort of like my sort of next sort of step to sort of try and a few more outside of the UK.
Yeah.
But for a Woody, I'm going to probably say Grand National. I absolutely love the Grand National.
Not the hip replacement.
I like
right?
that. Everyone's faces just suddenly change.
And you know what? I know. I think it's a fucking brilliant roller coaster. Like for its
When I
age,
was-
like the history behind it.
If ever a coaster needed RMCing,
It's the Grand National. To be fair, I used to love the Grand National when I was younger. I just can't stand it now.
I've done it once and that's enough for me.
First
Same.
time I wrote.
I think.
First,
but that's one of the things I love about obviously all of us within this theme park group community, whatever you want to call it, is that everyone's opinion is different and valid.
Exactly.
You know, I could sit here all day and argue that Grand National is a pile of rubbish, but that doesn't mean I'm right. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I think sometimes that gets forgotten. I think I've seen a few arguments where people just are determined to ram their opinion at other people, but so I totally respect Grand National. You know, when
Even
look
from
at
like the
nostalgia
history, even from
perspective,
like the
it's-
history.
exactly, it's history. You know,
It's a staple in the UK community because it's one of the oldest in the country.
absolutely,
Exactly.
and it has to be respected for that.
And when you look at it for a ride, sort of the actual ride experience it does offer, if you take the roughness away from it and all of that
Yeah.
sort of from it, it still does offer a really good ride experience.
Agreed.
Also, I'm pretty sure it was the UK's first dueling coaster in a way.
And I don't know, I really like that interaction because I mean, how many times you sort of like look and you think, oh yeah, I'm beating the other side, and I don't know. There's
Yeah.
another element. There's another element of fun to the roller coaster as well as just sort of like I'm enjoying this roller coaster. I'm sort of enjoying sort of watching the other people, the race, the whole. There's like different aspects to it. So for me, that's just what I'm. You know, like we sort of say, we've all got different opinions.
It honestly, Grand National confuses me so much. Like, how does it get from one side? Like,
It's a Mobius loop. So basically, towards the end, they kind of like when they cross over they do kind of cross over each other at a point.
Yeah.
It's one continuous layout essentially.
I'm gonna be like, my whole entire Google history will be like Grand National layout from the top, Grand National layout plans, Grand National layout design, because I'm just so confused.
It is confusing, to be fair.
And are we talking original layout or modern layout?
There was an original layout.
Yeah,
Grand National's layout was changed.
it was.
Yeah.
I've just seen
Google
George's
said-
mind go.
Google search has gone up.
I know.
Grand National. The runner started
Better than the rest of your Google search history, though, George. Eh?
No, not the actual Grand National horse race.
Yeah. Oh my god. That is funny. Anyway, next question. Did any of you visit any abroad theme parks this year, and what ones?
Nope.
3.
Yes. 2. Well,
5.
technically 3.
Share.
Obviously, Energylandia, and then I did Portaventura and Ferrari World. Can't forget it is a separate park, even if it is rubbish when Red Force isn't running.
Did you not do Red Force?
It was down.
It's only just
virtually the whole
opened.
week.
Oh.
I saw it roll back. That was
I've
impressive.
done-
Watching Red Force roll back was very impressive and also very daunting.
I was at Six Flags Magic Mountain in January. Then I was at Park Asterix and Portaventura.
Park Asterix is what I'm hoping to do next year.
Oh, I
It's
love
so-
it there so much.
It's such a good park.
Yeah. We
Don't
will
listen to the
make the
negative
trip
hate about
happen.
Goodrex.
Oh, don't get me
Start
started on
sucking up to this.
Goodrex.
Goodricks was in my top 10 once upon a time.
Oh God.
Was that like your
It's-
first park visit?
So what was that?
Was that like your first park visit? So you'd only ever done one park? So Goodricks
No, I did
made your top 10.
Goodricks in 2019, so I'd done a few other parks by
High
then.
Park
But
Visions.
it reminds me of Colossus. The first time you ride it, you won't like it. You have to mature into liking it. You have to ride it properly, and it's not even that rough. It's just poorly profiled because it was probably drawn by hand.
I think I
There we
left
go.
Park Asterix with Osiris being my favourite coaster there when I went. My
That's
first
my
one,
favourite
which was, like,
B&M. It is incredible.
That will change if we go next year, Kieran.
yeah, but Osiris
This
is
will
one of the best
change.
B&M inverts I've ever done.
Oh yeah, it's incredible.
I'm not a fan of B&M inverts. I find them really boring and rough.
Osiris will
Except
change
for
that.
Reborn.
Osiris
They're
will
a
change that.
catalogue coaster, aren't they? They are B&M's
Yeah.
catalogue coaster now.
Yeah,
Most of them are clones. It's the same elements, just in different orders.
yeah.
Mm.
I mean, the order does make a difference,
Yeah, definitely.
but yeah, they are all basically clones. So I can see why. Yeah, they can be dull. A lot of people find them dull. They
I
are
think
sort of park fillers, queue eaters.
Exactly. The high capacity machines.
Oh yeah, and very reliable
Yeah.
unless they rattle.
Yeah. I have a good next question. It might be a little bit hard though. What has been it doesn't have to be new, it can be any. What has been your favourite UK coaster, not including Reborn or Hyperia?
Icon.
Gold Rush.
Haven't done Gold Rush yet, but doing it next year.
So good.
So
Any
Icon.
Two.
UK
I'm torn
coaster.
between two.
mm.
Odyssey.
Mate, Odyssey?
Whoa. I feel my head going already.
I know.
I'm getting infusion flashbacks.
No, it's better than Infusion.
Yeah, it's better than Infusion. not
Anything's
Swiss
better
Marley.
than infusion.
At least Odyssey's worth riding for the headache.
Yeah, true.
But I'd say overall sick.
Yeah.
I love sick.
I have a fun fact about Odyssey.
Yeah.
The reason it cost so much is, firstly, they didn't even get the planning permission approval for like Odyssey
Yeah.
before they built it. And secondly, the reason it's so expensive is because some of the footers, because it's near a beach, it's on sand, so some of the footers are like 80 foot underground.
It's a bit dark there, Kieran.
Hang on, I'm sorting out stuff. Not problems when you don't have a desk set up.
Oh, mine's probably Millennium. I like Millennium.
Oh, that's
It's
so
so
good.
smooth.
It's underrated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's massively underrated.
Heavily.
How is it so
It
old and
really
so
is.
smooth? Is that down
Exactly.
to is
And
that
it's
down
a
to the
Vekoma.
way that they've looked after it? Is that down to the manufacturing of it? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Look,
it just doesn't make.
I'm going to say this now, the rides at Fantasy Island, like, I know someone who previously worked there, and they said when, like, the staff, when, like, doing morning checks, they just looked at it and said, oh, yeah, that's okay, and just left it. So,
Really?
yeah.
Oh.
Well, whatever it is they've done, they've kept it smooth. But
I was
Mhm.
going to say, it's like butter through a knife. It's just.
Exactly.
I need to go to Fantasy
you
Island.
forget it's a Vekoma.
Mhm. It's worth a trip, Brandon. It's good.
Especially an old gen Vekoma in that case as well.
Yeah. But having said that, let's be honest, the only real Vekomas that are the problem are the SLCs.
Yes.
Because all of the Vekomas that I did at Energylandia, and basically, you know, if Europa Park is Mac Park, Energylandia is Vekoma Park.
Mhm.
And, you know, and they were all very rideable, very smooth, you know,
Agreed.
Yeah.
and great coasters. Abyssus actually was a really pleasant surprise.
Exactly.
launch coaster that's got so many great elements to it, and it
It
was
does.
actually very rideable.
Except the
Mm.
trims.
The trims are a little bit harsh.
I know.
What
Oh,
coaster?
we don't like the trims on it.
What coaster doesn't have harsh trims?
True.
Ooh. Saw just
I'm
doesn't
waiting
have
to
any.
find a country where they don't place too much value on trims, and they just let you row. You just let you roll.
You
I've
need
got
to
a
go to an
feeling-
American park.
Or once Colossus has gone and been sold off to India or wherever it will go,
Maybe.
It probably
I'll
will
put
end
it
up
in
breaks
being
out and you'll be
sold.
fine.
They'll probably like sell it to some country in Asia. They'll probably
Maybe.
not even build
It will be me. I will
correctly.
buy Colossus.
It'll be held together with gaffer tape and
That's fine. If
No,
I have to
they'll
nick
probably-
it track
they'll-
by track,
They'll probably
that's
do.
fine.
They'll probably do a pleasure beach and just sell off the ride parts.
No,
which
no,
I
no,
would
no,
do.
no, no. They'll put it on a field somewhere, and in the night, I will take it piece by piece until it's all gone. They won't even know.
No, they'll probably- what they'll end up doing is they won't have read the instructions properly, so they'll take the part from the first Heartline roll and use it for the fourth Heartline roll. So all the pieces are all like completely out of
No,
place.
so you just instead of going into the vertical leap, we just go into the Heartline rolls instead.
Yeah. I can add like a weird. I could just mess up the track and do like a weird custom layout thing.
Yeah.
I'll figure it
Anyway.
out, but I will take it back with me.
What
Trying to
has
go to
everyone's
Belgrade.
favourite event been? It doesn't
Fright
have,
Nights.
have to just be in the UK.
Fright
Fright
Nights.
Nights.
Friday nights.
Fright Nights is just special for me.
Mm.
For many reasons.
I've got to be controversial and say there hasn't been a single UK park event this year that's really hit the mark.
They've all been very mid this year. Even
They have.
Fright Nights, in my opinion, from working the event, has been very mid this year. But going into events next year for Thorpe, it's not looking good. By the way,
Isn't it?
I'm not surprised.
Oh, I
promising.
heard something about that.
So did I.
What I've been hearing,
I've
About-
been told from the seasonal lot as well. It's
Yeah.
not looking good.
from what I'm
I've heard
hearing
that
from
too.
what's coming down from the new CEO, the stand-in CEO, she's ripping the arse out of budgets. Literally ripping the arse out of budgets.
Without putting words
Yay.
in mouth to anyone saying things, Fright Nights is the only event Thorpe is doing next year, just to confirm.
I've already heard
I
that.
thought it might be.
I don't
Well,
mind
that's
that.
disappointing.
That we, I wouldn't mind that as if they concentrated on delivering the quality in that
Exactly.
sort
Agreed.
of time frame.
That's-
Like
Yeah.
I'd quite happily sacrifice Oktoberfest. Like it's a nothing for me.
'Cause
Like, do you know what I mean?
I'm quite close with a lot of the performers and people from Fright Nights. We all are hoping that it's a lot better for next year from both a guest point of view and an acting work side of view, because this year
Especially
was
when you're upcharging for the mazes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just say it was a very fun time at a certain maze this year for a lot of reasons. I'm not really allowed to say.
Yeah.
Oh no, a
The
constant
sad thing
downtime.
is, the hope is that they will use the savings to make Fright Nights better. The
Mhm.
truth is, it's Merlin,
not gonna
and they'll
happen.
just bank the
It's not.
savings and deliver
Yeah.
the same Fright Nights.
If not, probably less.
if not less, yeah, but charge more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it happening.
Yeah,
You know,
so
It's no secret by now that Chesington is their pet park.
Oh, 100%.
But from a business head, I can understand why. It's the only park that is year on year seeing an increase in footfall.
Yeah,
It's the only park where somebody told me that World of Jumanji has paid for itself twice over already.
I've heard that as well,
Jeez.
actually.
So you can kind of see why they're pumping the money into it. But
yeah.
to me, it's like, well, okay. What you now need to do is look at what is it about Chesington that is so successful, and start introducing that across your estate.
Like, I think the reason Chessington gets so much like footfall is because it has like something for everyone.
It's a
Legoland
good
has
family
things
park.
like Legoland has things for kids. Towers and Thorpe, like Thorpe has barely anything for kids. Towers has like you've either got tiny rides and CBBS. There's nothing for that middle like group of people, whereas Chessington has it all.
Yeah.
I feel like because Chessington have got such a wide variety in not even their coasters, but just rides in general. They got dark rides. You got some coasters there for those who are looking for more adrenaline. You got the animals. You got loads of things there for everyone to do.
Also, I
Agreed,
think when you
Andy.
look at it location-wise,
Yeah.
it's in sort of like a good location. When you look at Alton Towers, a lot of people have to sort of travel.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, demographic-wise, it's a lot more accessible for a lot of people.
Agreed.
Public transport-wise, especially. I mean, you know,
It's
Chessington
Extremely.
South Station is a 5-minute walk from
Mhm.
the park.
Yeah. All you need to do is go to like
None of the
if
other
you're co-
parks have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Staines,
You
you've got
know,
the bus service, which you have to pay extra for, which I think is still a bit ridiculous.
sardines on
not-
wheels.
Pretty
Isn't
much
it-
the death bus.
Isn't it normally like rammed as well?
Yeah, no, that's why we call it the death bus. If you work a Friday night's closing shift and you're not getting out till 11, you're getting the last bus of the day. They've got to fit all of the park employees and anyone who is still a guest on park on that bus. It's
Yeah.
hell. I would rather walk the hour to the station than it is to get on that bus.
It's an hour.
It depends which route you
Jeez.
take. But it's a good 45-minute walk.
It's further than you realise.
Yeah.
You're
Like-
quicker off walking to Chertsey Station than Staines.
Like just looking at it, Chessington is at like you said, Chessington's in a really good location because it's not even like Towers where you've got to go down loads of windy roads. You literally just come off the M25 and it's just one long road.
Yeah.
So it's not even like where you've got to like drive ages. And
And
Like-
they are now, of course, once they've finished the what's the word? The rebuild of the junction.
Yeah, I know that junction because it's near me.
It's going to make it even quicker to get to Chessington from the M25. You literally, it's going to fly
Yeah.
off and
Yeah,
away.
yeah, that'll be
Um,
done next year. The M25 A3 interchange.
Yeah.
I was on there today. Where they're
Yeah,
doing that.
it's a nightmare because that's one of the roads I normally take all the time.
I agree, Andy, with that.
yeah,
Towers is a bit isolated.
Yeah.
Thorpe Park is actually also very isolated.
It
I mean,
is.
it's on an island.
It's not technically an island, but
Yeah,
but
true.
when you think about buses serving the park,
You've
there
only got
actually isn't a
two.
great service apart from the Thorpe Park bus, which
You got the
is-
Thorpe Park Express, then you got the 446, you got the 456, and then you got a few others, but they're only stop at Chertsey. You can just walk the rest.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it
So-
depends which direction you're coming from as well.
But Towers is definitely the most isolated.
Agreed.
When you look at all the other parks, Fantasy Island is literally just on the edge of Inglemells.
Yeah.
still
Paulson's
a pain
Park
to get to.
is very accessible. I'm trying to think.
Fantasy Island.
Blackpool is right on the seafront.
They got a station right next to it as well.
Yeah. They're all pretty accessible. It's just part of me can't help but feel sometimes that turning Alton Towers into a theme park was actually a catastrophic error because the
Ooh,
grounds,
controversial.
the grounds, obviously, yes, great, massive grounds, and it
Mhm.
saved the grounds, if you like, from being sold off for development, I suppose. But when you look at access, even if you're a driver, the roads are hell. They are awful country winding roads, and
Yeah.
you literally have to be right on it because there'll be a local, I guarantee, that'll cut you up, that knows the roads better than you do, and
Yeah.
it's
No, I agree. I think for the
And, like,
long
the close-
term, they've definitely shot themselves in the foot because the expansion they want to do, I think where the park is, that makes it like so much harder for them to even get around.
Because also the closest train station to Towers is like a good, if you're wanting to walk that distance, it's a good 2.5 to 3 hours, I think.
Takes you about half hour, 45 minutes just to walk out from the bloody car park.
I
Agree.
know.
Not if you go through the
Is
park.
Stoke the
though.
nearest station?
No,
Toxeter.
That's it, Toxeter, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I've
Hey
done it by
there.
train once, and I do not recommend it.
does Cheadle not have a train station? Oh,
Getting back to events, though, actually, I have to say,
Oh,
Halloween
yeah.
at Portaventura was an amazing event. They have their own end of day song and parade,
that is amazing. That parade.
which is brilliant. It's like literally that it goes all around the park, and you just follow it through. If you're on your way out at end of day, you can literally just follow this parade out, and they're just singing.
Yeah.
You've got Woody Woodpecker and loads of the other characters are all singing and dancing, and it's absolutely amazing. The
Oh, I love the video.
wandering actors were absolutely just like next level. Some of the makeup I've seen on some of those actors was just unbelievable. And the scare mazes, yeah, we're all brilliant mazes, you know, and it was just, for me, that was my favorite event. Oktoberfest at Energylandia looked pretty good as well, but
Yeah.
yeah.
He does have a new name, Beth.
Do you know what it is? I'm glad somebody spotted it. Okay, so I'll explain it, because you know it does look a bit like I've just gone a bit spaz and typed a load of letters.
You have.
It is an acronym, okay, and it literally stands for the creator, formerly known as Anxious Rider 78.
Oh god, it does.
Wait, does it?
Yeah.
Wait, I can't see it for some reason.
Because
That's
that'd be
Oh,
really
crazy.
Create. Oh yeah.
Fair enough. Talking about events, though, that brings me on to the next question, because it literally just pops in my head. I had a good question. What has been your favourite maze this year at any park or Halloween event?
I'm refraining from this question because I have bias.
Really, Kieran? You surprised me.
I have bias on this one mainly because that was where I spent my life of Fright Nights.
We know
this
what the
year.
bias is.
Yeah,
Stitches and SG.
no, just Stitches.
Oh, fair.
Right. Wild.
Agreed. Compound.
No. Wild
Yes.
opinion. Altonville Mine Tours, because I had the most amazing run through. Nothing was missed. Like all the actors were there, and because I was also at the front,
Agreed, Beth.
like Stitches is great. Like honestly, there was one point in Stitches, you know, after the scene with the monkey and the symbols.
After
Yeah.
Symbols going into Flashbang, yeah.
No, you know how there's the doll.
The showroom.
Oh, finale, yeah.
No, like before.
Oh, storeroom. That's character's been moved into the room with Monkey.
Yeah, that character.
Ragdoll.
Yes, honestly, because I didn't know that the monkey could then like go around the other side of the wall, and then started banging the cymbals, and then, the doll just appeared like there, and I was just like, nah, get me out of here.
You know, one day we had 3 dolls in there.
Jeez. I agree with Andy's comment. If you did Stitches with me, you would know that I absolutely hated the puppet. I'll scream every time I saw
Puppet
it.
was. You missed the day we pulled people from SG to come over to perform in Stitches, and they were in Puppet Room.
Yeah,
That was fun.
I would
That
have
was a
died if I was
funny
on
thing
there.
to witness people going through that maze.
I think my favourite
Oh my
maze has got to
God.
be I think it was called the Twisted Tunnels at Journey to
Thank
Hell.
you, Beth. Oh, yeah.
That was really good. I like that. There was sort of some good dialogue in there. There was sort of like a good storyline. I don't sort of just like characters just sort of like jumping out and going, bleh, trying to like
Yeah.
skate. I do like a little bit of a storyline, a bit of sort of immersion into it. And for that
Yeah.
one, I don't know as well. There was some quite foul language in there as well. I got called a rent boy at one point, and it was like a Jack the Ripper sort of bit with there was going on about like this woman being a prostitute and all sorts, and it was just like, I don't know, just when you go to a horror event, I don't know, just to have someone going like boo. I think we're very desensitized to that now. Like it's been done,
Yeah.
you know, to have a story, get you immersed in it, sort of make it more of a thing is more now. Because otherwise it's just like push you through a horror maze or a scare maze and just try and, like you said, get that one jump. No, I prefer more of a story, like especially if you're paying, because like a lot of these events are really expensive, especially the Halloween
Yeah.
events.
Mm.
You know, when you're sort of paying off about like £10 for a maze nearly. Like I want to be in there for a good like sort of time. I want to enjoy the sort of story. I don't just want to be having someone like screaming in my ear like "get out." That doesn't
No,
make me
no.
scared.
Just picking up on Andy's comment there, and I totally agree with him.
Yeah.
Deadbeat went too far the other way.
Yes.
I'm going to say that as well, as someone who
It was too
worked.
complicated. If I'd have done Deadbeat without doing the behind the scenes tour first,
You wouldn't
I
have
would have come
understood it.
out and gone, "What? What was that about?"
Even then, I was still confused. What on
And
earth
even
was
Yeah,
happening?
even then, it still wasn't. It was a great story potentially. I just don't think the space was right to deliver it.
No, it wasn't utilised well enough. They
But
could have done
it
something
was
a lot
such
better
a
there.
complicated story
Mhm.
that I just think, you know, the GP that, you know, bear in mind we're enthusiasts and we're a bit more tuned into these things, and there was a lot of enthusiasts who just went, "I just didn't get it." You know,
Yeah,
so
even
the GP had no chance.
even us performers and workers, we didn't get it either when we did it on our
Yeah.
dress run night before press, and we were like, what are the public going to think of this? Because we have no clue, and we're the ones that are meant to be in these mazes all the time. Like
One
we
of
were
my
Yeah.
favourite
confused as
mazes
well.
this year was actually the cellar at
Tully's.
Shocktoberfest, Tully's Shocktoberfest. And the reason I think it works so well was because actually what they did was they took it back to basics. There was a story, but it wasn't a complicated story.
Mm.
But what they did was really clever scares. It wasn't just your jump out in front of you. It was above you. It was coming out from, like, they were lying on the floor under tables and things, crawling out and coming at you. And it was
Using
just
the
so
space
well
well.
done. There wasn't a single person in my group that went through that didn't come out of that maze going, "Whoa, that was intense."
Yeah.
It wasn't my
Yeah.
favorite maze, but I think it was number 2 or number 3 for me.
Because
Mm.
we did a Thorpe trip to Tully's where basically we had days off for Fright nights. We all just decided to go to Tully's to see what they were like, and we all agreed that they used their spaces a lot more than we did. Mainly because I think for us at Thorpe, we've got a load of health and safety restrictions we have to abide by, whereas at Tully's, I don't think there are that many compared to Thorpe, which is how
Yeah.
they're able to do a lot more things.
They can definitely get away with a lot more.
Exactly.
They
Because
can.
our risk assessments were like
Yeah.
80 pages long
Oh,
per
God.
maze.
I think they're subject to the same risk assessments, but the difference is, I suppose, is that their buildings are up and
Yeah.
kind of untouched for most of the year. Some of the buildings get reused for Christmas, for the summer, the tulip event, and you know, and Easter and that kind of thing. But some of the buildings are purpose built. You know,
For the
they're very
mazes.
easy to just
Yeah.
change around and without having to incur massively new risk assessments.
And the
But,
thing is, also with Tully's, you've got to remember, obviously, because it is just that Halloween festival, they are relying on having good quality mazes because they haven't got like the ride line up behind them
Yeah.
to sort of back up on. Whereas with Thorpe, they can sort of be a little bit more slack and go, okay, well, we're putting this event on. We can extract a little bit more money from you. We can, you know, get you to go through these mazes because you've already paid for your ticket here. Whereas with Tully's, you're literally paying the one
To go
price to
through
get in those mazes. So you've got to be delivering on that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think that is a major difference as well. Is that you're right. Theme parks doing Halloween are kind of, in their mind, it's an addition,
Of course it is.
which I
Yeah.
sort of understand. But if you want the die-hard maze goer to come and really rate it, you've got to be delivering it at the same level as Tully's and that. You've got to say, actually,
Yeah.
yes, we are a theme park, but at Halloween, we are also a scare event.
Mhm.
And we will deliver that scare at the same level as all the other scare events. Otherwise, they're always going to be second-rate places like Tully's and Fear Avon Valley. And I mean, that was my favorite this year, was Fear Avon Valley. I mean, Tully's was great, but Fear was just another level. You know, it was unbelievable the amount of effort that goes into that event. You know, and it's not been around that long either. But it was the variety as well. You know, mazes where you're wading through water that's kind of like waist high, and you know, and that kind of thing. And it was just, yeah. And I think that's maybe it's a mindset issue that they think that, but the mazes are supplementary. You know, the main attraction is the park. Is it though? At that particular time of year, is the main attraction the rides in the park, or actually is it the scare mazes? Is it the event? And if it is, then I think they've got to have a bit of a refocus and a rethought about what priority they give it.
I mean, even when you look at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, they sort of separated their events. Obviously, they do sort of like the day sort of thing, and then you go back and they have the freak nights, the Halloween freak nights in the evening. And I think because obviously they sort of close some of the park off and they just focus all their energy into that one sort of time, it actually worked quite well, especially this year. I mean, we went and like the amount of roaming actors that were around, because obviously they closed off different parts of the park and whatever. It just, to me, it worked well.
Yeah. I think issue with Thorpe and Fright Nights is I feel like they should close the park early for like general public people, and then have a specific, not even like throughout the entire run, have nights where they're open till 9 p.m. so that people can choose to do things what they want, but like have specific nights that are more hardcore for those people that want to go. Like the Silkstone nights are good, but that only is one night during the entire run, for example. Whereas if
and in all fairness, from general public point of view, you're not really going to know who Jack Silkstone is. Do you know what I mean? Unless you're in this sort of community, you're not going to know about those sort of events. So, whereas I think like maybe a more extreme night where they do maybe like an 18+ night where they can ramp up these scares, or, you know, I think that would sell even if it was just 2 or 3 nights over Halloween. I do think that would sell still.
It's discussion even us as actors we want to do, because there is so much we want to, like, some guests are a pain in the ass, and there are some times when as an actor we see them come through the maze, we're like, oh, you are getting violated if we could. Like, that's the problem why we're so annoyed at ourselves, because we can't go to the extreme levels we want to go.
Thorpe needs to go down the HHN route.
Agreed.
Especially if they're going to sell themselves on being the thrill park.
And I heard that the excuse originally for not doing it was because of ride noise, and they didn't have enough roller coasters that operated below a certain decibel level that were allowed to operate after like 9 p.m. at night or something. But Hyperia was going to fix that, because Hyperia's noise output is significantly lower.
Yeah.
And then they were going to then move towards this HHN thing. And then I've since heard that that's now been put on the back burner again, because doing it that way would be more expensive, and, you know, God forbid we should spend any money.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but flying fish, honestly, the amount of noise that ride makes is honestly like
It
unacceptable.
makes a lot more noise than people think, funnily enough.
We love flying fish.
Colossus
Has
as
a
well.
special
Colossus
place in my
and
heart.
Saw actually are two of the problem rides. They emit
Yeah.
such a level of noise.
It's that lift hill though. It's the anti-rollbacks as it comes off the top.
Yeah,
You can hear that from the car park.
You can hear
You
it from
can.
Main Road.
You can hear it from Chertsey.
so the idea was that having Hyperia would mean you could have Stealth, Swarm, Inferno, Hyperia, Flying Fish, because apparently I think because of its height, it gets away. It's kind of excused from the noise output restrictions.
What about Walking Dead?
Walking Dead's
That
internal.
can operate as well because it's indoor, and it doesn't actually create a lot of noise.
What I
Mm.
liked about Deadbeat, and one of the two things I liked about that maze, is the fact that the rave, Darren will know this. You know the big group that I was in, with all of the like people, like the rave.
Oh, Teddy and those.
Yeah, like that rave, like the queue line was great.
Oh
And-
no, the Q. I have the entire Q Line playlist. I have all of the music files. If anyone
I
wants
love
it,
the
just
songs
let me
from
know,
it.
and I will send you the entire Q Line files.
Isn't it
They're on
bad though,
Spotify.
that the most
Yeah.
memorable thing for you about the maze was
Play.
Q Line?
The Q
Yeah.
Line, the Merge on the Dance Floor techno remix. Oh, me and my mates, we were having a laugh.
The tunes were absolutely
I know.
banging.
Archie
Well,
did this. Archie did this tune selection for the Q Line, and he did an amazing job.
Oh yeah,
Annoyingly, Archie wasn't allowed to do the music inside because that would have been so much better if he did the internal music.
That would have been
Oh.
so good.
I think they should have just had Archie as
Canestro.
DJ
you-
Canistro.
Oh my gosh.
We were
Apparently-
we were literally saying that at our rap party. We were like, Archie should be Canistro. Like,
Mm.
Yeah. Like, oh, what was I going to say? The second thing that I liked about it, and the two things, which again is really sad that it was only two things, but hearing Walking Dead and hearing
Yeah.
the screams from Walking Dead, and also hearing the screams
Yes.
from the maid, almost intensified it.
yeah,
Because
Mm.
like then you knew that, oh yeah, these are people screaming, but because you're in that moment of not knowing what's going on, like it could then almost gave me specifically that mindset of this is going to be terrifying because all I can hear is people screaming, so it almost made it even scarier.
Yeah.
especially I think in those rooms in Deadbeat, one of the sewer rooms where it was just pitch black, you couldn't see a thing. If you just heard people screaming, you'd be crapping yourself.
Oh,
Yeah. Anyway, I've got it's like I've got two favorites because I can't decide between. One of them is Compound because I was actually generally scared in that. That was amazing, and the theming was good. It had a story. It had the right amount of actors. It was like they were really, I don't know. It was just really immersive, and I like the. Oh, wait, actually, I can't say. I can't spill what's happening inside. But the finale, I really like the finale on it. But my other favorite is the Ravenous at Fantasy Island, because my run through on that,
Yeah.
a man burped in my ear. I got pinned to a wall, and the guy was flirting with me. There was 4 actors in it, but they had a story, and they was I don't know, they were making it as if there was more, but there actually wasn't, which was good.
Compound, unfortunately, seems to have been a maze of extremes. You either
Mm.
had an amazing run through, or it was shockingly bad.
Yeah.
that was my run through.
I know people who, within a couple of hours, doing it, multiple times, within a couple of hours, had both experiences where gone through, saw one actor, rushed through, virtually no scares, was rubbish. Gone through again, more actors, more immersive. It's again, it's delivering consistency.
See, my like first ever run through of Compound, and I think it was the time of day that I did it, because I did it with Coastalytical, because she said, because I was so scared, because she's like done it before, she was like, I'll do it with you, just then like I know what's going on, so you don't know if anything's like wrong or anything. So we did it, but we were the first run through of the day. So we walked into one room, the actors were just sat there having a conversation. Like, at least, like, and this is my one criticism of it, if you're going to, like, open a maze, like, please just at least make the actors aware that there are people in this maze. You like, not do your job, but, like, yeah, like,
stay
do your job.
stay in character until you're out of the maze or basically finished.
Yeah.
Which is what Thorpe does. We are told we are to stay in character until we're in an out of sight area. Essentially, we have to stay in character. We cannot interact with each other unless it's like for break rotations. We have hand signals. We're not allowed to really break that immersion.
Yeah.
And on that comment on survival games, it has been very hit and miss this entire Fright Night season. Across all the Fright Nights mazes, we've had issues with sicknesses and numbers. So it's been a very hit and miss season for like run throughs of every maze.
Yeah.
The first run through I had of survival games wasn't the best. Like, it was still like, I was still scared, but like it was okay. But then the second run through I had, because I managed to get a second run through later on in the day, it was actually like, I think because I knew the way out, it was a lot quicker.
Yeah.
But I think what made it good is the fact that I couldn't tell whether somebody was an actor or not. So I walked around a corner, there was some kid who was younger than me, and I just went, like, I was like, get away from me, not realizing that it was some kid. And I know this is really bad, but then the kid just started walking away crying, and I felt so bad. But not that's what made it better, but like more the fit, more like not knowing like who people were.
See, my first ever run through of survival games was on Fake Nights, and it had a fire alarm go off halfway through. So that was my first ever run through of survival games this year.
Oh no.
Isn't Fake Nights like, don't they not go all out, but don't they put a lot more effort in?
For Fake Nights, it's our dress run night. We're not going all out because we do that more on press night. But Fake Nights is more of a way to test it. Not everyone is, the mazes don't run at full capacity, even though everyone's in. It's on minimum capacity to see what the experience is like during Fake Nights and just to test everything. And because SG had a new fire alarm e-stop of like venting system, it was more of a test of that. There's a reason why it ran on one chainsaw instead of two most of this season.
Hi, Coastal. I agree with what Beth said.
I think all those of us that are on the content creator program are hoping that that's how Alton Towers are going to use us.
I want to say.
I feel you should have a say.
Rather than as a marketing tool, which is the fear that I have for the program.
I want to be part of the creator program, but I'm too young.
Oh.
Next year, though. Like on my birthday next year, I'm going to apply.
Yeah.
See, I feel like more Merlin parks should have a creator program. Like Towers are doing good with theirs, but I've not really seen much come out of it yet, probably because the season's just finished and all. But for next year, I wish like Thorpe had one and Chesington had one, because it would make more of a difference than just say management making the decisions. They want to hear from people who go to these parks often and act on those feedback.
Like, I really hope that is what the creator program does end up being about. Obviously, the reservation that a lot of us have is it going to be a way for Merlin to control
what post
creators
about.
are saying about the park in general, and And because obviously there was small print in the application that said favorable reviews, positive spin from people on the creator program. Now that could be, you can be positive about something even though you're being critical.
Constructive criticism.
Criticism, absolutely. Or are they expecting us to just go, it was amazing because Alton Towers told us to say it was amazing, in which case we're just a marketing tool, and I think then it's going to come a cropper. So before they roll it out to other parks, I would love to see, I'm looking forward to seeing where it's going and how much they're going
to. With them taking in the constructive criticisms from you guys, I feel like that would actually impact it a lot better in the way things are done. And if it's done that way, it's a good thing they've done. But if it's not, then it's going to be a major downfall. No one's going to really want to be a part of it.
Yeah. I have my reservations, but I'm a great believer in you've got to be in it to win it. And the best way to influence something is by being part of it. So we can be on the outside and kick and scream and shout about it, or you can be on the inside shouting about it, and you're going to get listened to a bit more. So
I think, in all fairness, one of the better content creator teams, if they want to sort of like model it off something that's obviously working for them, Fantasy Island has got a good content creator team. And I know that it's just been sort of taken over by sort of this new gentleman. I think it's Darren, his name is. But they seem to work really sort of well. Is that you?
It's not me, but I'm Darren as well. So Abby and I are both on their collaboration panel.
Yeah. But they work really well with the content creators. They just sort of like come in, enjoy your day, sort of like just tell us what you think, send what you want to send back to us, and we'll use it. And I don't know, I think it works well. It doesn't, even when you go, it's not like, okay, you've got to have a good day. It's not, do you know what I mean? Pressurized. It's just come and enjoy it, to see what you think. Let us know. It works.
I think like Towers should do it like Fantasy Island, because I know Fantasy Island do it like if it's endorsed by a parent, it's allowed. So for my sake, if like I can apply to be a Fantasy Island collaborator, however, I can't apply to be a Towers collaborator.
I think it all comes down to insurance, doesn't it? That's the problem.
Yeah.
It is a big insurance.
You got you need to have the liability there.
Even with parental permission, they would still have to have another level of insurance, because obviously content creators essentially could be given behind the scenes access, which is being in close proximity to dangerous machinery. And if you're doing that to anybody under the age of 18, the insurance goes through the roof.
Like I went to Brighton Pier, and so the guy, I don't think he knew that I was only 15, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll give you a behind the scenes tour," and I was like, "I don't think you should be doing that." Considering
I think that's the difference between corporations and like things that are run as amusements. So like corporations like Merlin, like the big parks, they have more of an insurance than say a traveling fairground, for example.
Yeah.
And let's face it, if something was to happen to somebody like yourself, George, in a Merlin theme park, it would be headline news.
Oh yeah.
Imagine, because as despite the fact that it's is it 10 years next year for the anniversary of the Smiler incident?
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's 2016, wasn't it?
No, it was June 2015.
2015. So it's, hang on, let me check.
10 years next year, but it's still very fresh in people's minds. And if something else was to happen at Alton Towers, straight away, that would be
They
referenced.
lose that trust.
It would be just dragged up. And then
mud sticks, unfortunately.
It does stick. Of course it sticks. That kind of mud never washes off. And I just, I think they've got to be very aware of that as well. It's a massive risk, and it's a risk they don't have to take, so they're choosing not to. So.
It's like the Drayton Manor incident with the Rapids as well. That's one that's still quite fresh in a lot of people's minds.
Yeah.
That was what, 2017?
I think it was.
I'm looking through it now.
Wait, no.
Anyway, next question. Does anyone have any theme park plans? Any abroad trips? Just anything to do with theme park plans in 2025?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Too many.
Yes.
Explain.
So, in January, so next
Yeah.
month, I believe, I've got a counter on my phone. But in 11 days, I will be going to Europa Park,
Very
which
nice.
I
Nice.
cannot wait for. And then also on New Year's Day, because it took a lot of convincing, I will say, I'm going to the Trafford Centre Winter Wonderland.
Oh, nice.
I think I'm starting my year off in Emerald Park, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, cool. That one's not really talked about much.
I mean, they've only got the two major new
sure.
major coasters there, but I've never been to Ireland before, so it'd be a nice trip to go and explore that as well.
Their wooden
Yeah.
coaster is mental, apparently.
If it's anything like Megaphobia,
Oh, it's another level above Megaphobia, apparently.
oh, that's got me excited.
Really?
now.
It's proper intense, yeah.
Ah.
So yeah, you'll enjoy that one apparently. It's a park I want to get to. Next year for us, I think the priorities are we want to do the two Madrid parks.
Madrid's good. They're good
because,
parks in
you know,
Madrid.
Gotham City Escape is just looks mad. And even Parc d'Attracciones is actually has some decent rides in, and obviously we're a family, so for us it's not just about the thrill coasters, we have to look at the entire package.
Yeah.
So Madrid actually looks like a really good destination for us because Parque Warner has nothing over 1.3 meter height restriction. So that's obviously me, Karen and Gabriel catered for. Brilliant. And then Parc d'Attracciones has quite a few rides that are under 1 meter height restrictions. So great for the little man. So, it's
got Paw Patrol, hasn't it?
It's got the Paw Patrol coaster and he's already clocked it and he is like constantly now, when are we going? When are we going?
Oh.
You ask him his favorite coaster at the moment and he'll tell you it's Red Force Junior.
Oh no, not that.
What is your question? I already know what it is, but it's about cars. I don't know why he wants me to ask you guys some question about cars. Let me get it up. Right, he wants to ask Porsche or Bentley.
Porsche.
Bentley.
There you go, Leo. Now let us get back to our theme park talk.
Porsche 911 GT3 RS. Oh.
Yes.
All right, that will shut
Mac
him up
make
for a
great
bit.
coasters, but I don't rate Porsche.
Peugeot.
He's gonna kill you.
Oh my gosh, it's Owen.
It is Owen. Hello, Owen.
Hello, Owen.
Not the legendary mid-train mayhem. Leo, I don't care whether you love me or not, mate. It's all about the quality. Go on, Abby. Let's move on.
Yeah. Let's move away from the cars. Anyway, speaking of trips, me and Kieran are in, and Seb, Seb, we are in the process of trying to plan a Park Asterix trip all together. because I need to do more abroad parks, and Kieran
Okay,
needs to do two
fixes.
Tassis.
No, I've done
I'm
two
Tim
Tassis.
said.
I've
Have
done
you?
two Tassis.
I have.
Yeah, I
How are you
want
all doing it
Tassis.
again?
I want to do two Tassis again.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the
Seven used to do
closest
two
thing. It's the
Tassis.
closest thing to Velocicoaster we can get
Mhm.
without having to go over there.
Exactly.
I've just realised that I might have another park trip later on in the year.
Yeah.
But it's still like serious planning stages. Mainly
Yeah.
depending if Europa Park goes well. Like because like my dad's birthday is the day after mine and my friend's birthday is 2 days before mine, we were thinking of doing a group trip either to Park Warner and Park de Attractions Madrid or doing a group trip to Portaventura.
Oh, nice.
Do Madrid.
Madrid.
2 parks in one.
Yeah.
And I think it's just better rides.
And you've done Portaventura.
Yeah, I know, that's the thing, but nobody else has done Portaventura.
Yeah, you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
I think
However,
Madrid, you get a better experience.
The other
However-
parks we've got on our list. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut across anybody there. I apologise.
Like the only like reason that I want to go back to Portaventura is A, because it's such a nice park, but B is when I went, I messed up heavily. Like even though we went when it was open till like 10:30, I got up at like 12. So like yes, we were staying nearby, but it was still like I didn't get everything done that I wanted to get done.
Yeah.
Like I only got one ride on Shambhala, which I really regret.
Oh, no. Better than nothing. Some people
Yeah.
haven't been to, an abroad park.
Exactly.
I need to go back to Cedar Point. I've got so many I need to tick off.
Yeah. At the moment, I'm thinking about doing Poland again, Energylandia. My dad
Fair
wants
enough.
to take me again. But I want to go in like January, so I really want to do the coasters in the snow.
Ooh.
Cold.
That is a bucket list trip for me.
Yeah.
I want to do Wallaby Holland when the new one opens. Or is it Belgium?
Wallaby Holland.
What, the single rail?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Isn't
Holland.
it called Yoy or
Is
something?
it Holland?
It's called
Yeah.
Yoy. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's on our list as well. What we're hoping to do is do Efteling and Wallaby Holland.
Mm.
Do 2 days at Efteling. All I'm going to say is like Efteling is not a one-day park.
Because I've done Wallaby Holland before. I just need to tick off like new things. Do not do the
Yeah.
SLC there. It's worse than Infusion.
Oh yeah. The
Is it worse
SLC
than
is
Mayan,
terrible.
though?
Is it worse than what? Sorry.
Mayan.
Don't think I've done
Yeah,
Mayan yet.
because El Condor has got the old trains on it still.
No, it hasn't. Not
Is it
anymore.
not? Oh, not
No,
anymore.
it's got the vest restraints.
Okay, so
still-
it probably is just as bad then.
Oh no, it still is. Like it's just shocking.
No, Beth, but I really want to.
I have.
Efteling is a park I want to do. And my mum wants to do it really badly, so
Efteling's a
It's-
nice park, but it's not
yeah.
a thrill park.
it's
I
got
did-
everything, I think.
I did Efteling in a day somehow. Still don't know how. But yeah, it's not a one-day park. That's all I'm going to say.
To be fair, I pretty much managed Energy.
Beth, she's watching. Sorry, Dan, I didn't mean to cut you, but
No,
yeah,
sorry.
Beth, she's watching.
But yeah, Energylandia is doable in a day if you get
Mhm.
on with it.
And it's actually dead. Although it usually is dead.
Yeah.
Except
It
school
also
trip
helps when it's
season.
torrential rain and the park's flooding.
See, I'd love to do Efteling because I still need to do Baron.
I want to do Dance Macabre really badly.
Yes.
It's one of my bucket list rides. I'm not all about coasters. I also really like flats. Although it's
You're not
more of a dark ride,
boozy,
but
are
still.
you?
I
I'm
mean, a
just
lot of
theme
people
park
compare
person. Everything
Efteling
in a theme
to
park.
Disney, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the European version of Disney. I like Efteling. I think it's a lovely park.
Yeah. Are you planning to do any abroad ones?
Portaventura next year and hopefully Plopsaland.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice. Plopsaland, I really want to do.
It's
And
Yeah, I
it's
really want to do
simple
Ride to
get to.
Happiness.
I mean, I live in Essex, so it's not too
Same.
far. It's like 5. No way, twins.
Yeah, I'm in Colchester.
No way. That's like
So
20
not
minutes
far.
away.
The only like issue I ever have is I'm really worried about driving on the other side of the roads. Like
I-
that's my
I've done it
biggest fear.
before. The only terrible
I'll
bit of the
send you over
roundabouts
where
is
I
you
am
have
in
to drive
Essex
it from
later.
the right.
Off the right. I'll send you it now. I don't want to reveal my location on here.
See, I want to do Plopsa for Ride to Happiness, but also Anubis for some reason.
Anubis
the
is
launch on that was
good.
mad.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
good, but like you know how what's it called? Daredevil Dive has lap bars.
Yeah.
Mm.
Anubis would be so much better with lap bars because the launch is so powerful. You almost not get like forced forward, but like you get forced forward into the restraints. So if it had a lap bar, I don't know if it'd be legal, but like it wouldn't be as bad. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
I want to do Plops, but the problem I have with Plopsaland is, despite its claim to be a family park, Elijah would be left with virtually nothing to ride.
Mm.
It's a pain to navigate, I will say.
It's. I think we found 2 rides in the entire park that had a 90 centimeter height restriction. Everything else was at least a meter.
Jesus.
Most things were 1.1. And isn't Ride to Happiness a 1.4?
No.
Is it?
I
I
would-
thought it was 1.3.
No, I think Ride to Happiness is 1.4 due to the spinning
Yeah.
compared
Yes,
to Hype.
because
Like if you
So
compare
there's
it
no
to other
point
max.
going as a family because it's the main coaster there, and obviously I want to do it, and G will want to do it, and he's not
Yeah.
quite 1.4 yet, so we're much
Yeah.
better off going to Europa and Efteling and Wallaby Holland and the Madrid parks, because most of
More on
their
offer for
coasters
you.
are 1.3s.
um
And Yoy looks mad.
Yoy
It
looks
does.
good.
Except the name.
Yeah.
And it's awful throughput.
Mm.
isn't it only like 2 trains or something?
2
Yeah, they
trains,
can only.
and it's isn't it, I think is it trains of 8?
Oh god.
Yeah, trains of 8.
It's got
only
some really
one
crazy
seat.
throughput of like 250 or 300 riders an hour.
That's going to be horrendous.
Tragic.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's 1 seat per row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I going to and also they'll probably end up operating it like Stampeder, where they won't dispatch it until both trains are ready. However, I don't think they should, because yes, it's a dueling coaster, it should duel, but would you rather have a train going over the top of you or be walking through that queue a little bit quicker?
Yeah.
I'd rather be walk. It's how, like when you go to American parks for like, I'm just gonna use Twisted Colossus as an example. That's a dueling coaster, but you get 2 layouts for the price of 1. You're not waiting for the second train to be ready, because by the time you've done your first go of the layout and come to the lift hill again, you are greeted by the train that has been dispatched by the station.
If they can time the dispatches correctly.
They've got that dispatch timed to a T.
I was going to say that comes down to operations, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah. Anyway, next question. Is there any fears related to theme parks that you want to get over next year?
Yes.
Share?
Flying to them.
Oh, yeah, fair.
I don't think I have any.
Yeah, I haven't got any either.
Oh,
Me and Darren definitely have some.
I'm not keen on Starflyers and drop towers.
Me too.
Yeah,
And big whales
Starflyers.
to
Yeah,
me.
I came this close to getting on the Starflyer at Flamingo Land,
Oh no, that one's bad.
and then I bottled it.
Good, because it's terrible. It's so shaky. It's
But I
unbelievable.
think I'm going to try the one at Fantasy Island.
Oh, that's even
That's-
worse.
I was going to say we did that, and I literally just sat. My partner Cam just had his eyes shut throughout the whole thing, and I'm just sitting there like, just get me the off. I'm done.
Me on Saturday.
It's not for me. It's
It broke. I went like I want to say it was in like June time. I got stuck halfway up. It broke down while I was halfway up. I was honestly just like, nah.
Worst nightmare for me, that would be.
I think my worst nightmare is getting an evac off the Soar Lift Hill because it's happened to me once and it's just not fun.
Mine is the Adventure Island City Wheel. George has witnessed me on it. It's
Oh.
just big wheels, star flyers, and drop towers I can't do. I'm getting over drop towers. There's some that I can do, but the big wheel at Adventure Island,
That's-
I literally have panic attacks because it's right by the sea. It's always like really windy, and because of that, it shakes. And like
Same
the
with-
first time that I did it, it was literally rocking like that. And I asked them to get me off, and they wouldn't. And then when I got off, they said that I was being rude.
Like same with the Star Flyer. I think any like high ride that has
Yeah.
the potential to swing should not belong near a beach.
I know.
point.
Like or any
So
sort of open area with a wind.
See, I did a
Mhm.
Star Flyer in America, and those things are taller than the ones you'd see over here. And they are terrifying.
Hang on. Well,
I've also
Towers.
done.
I stood at the bottom of Hurricane Condor at
That's so good.
Portaventura and felt physically sick.
I remember going to Vegas once. They had the claw thing that goes over the city. That was
Ooh.
terrifying.
Yeah, this I agree with. Beth, that has made me even more anxious about them.
yeah. Like
But if I know though, it's only one, and it was one place that it happened. Like, it probably
Wasn't
won't
it a
happen
mobile
again.
one as well? Or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
well, I went to Stoke Winter Wonderland yesterday, and even though the Starflyer probably looked, I think it was about the same height as a 3-story house, maybe
Mm.
taller, I'm not sure, but still, I didn't go on it because I was so scared. Like,
fair.
If I have a fear to still get over, and well, maybe it's a justified fear, maybe I shouldn't actually try and get over it. It is fairgrounds.
Mm.
They bother me. It bothers me that, a theme park, everything, once it's put together, it's put together. It's screwed up
Yeah.
tightly. It's checked every day. Those things are literally put up. And I've seen how quickly they put them up as well.
They
And take them down
I-
again. And
when-
they're not always professionally trained, shall we say. They are trained
Yeah,
because they're quite often family run
oh,
businesses, but there's no, parks get health and safety checked regularly. These
Yeah.
things, they check the ride, but they can't check it every time it's put up.
Yeah, because on that
And
note, I worked for the Travelling Fun Fair. They used to come to my village. I used to always help them every year. So even I was trained on building the rides, and they are not the most. Some of them are not the most secure things put together.
I was going to say, 'cause surely, like, when you look at a lot of them are put on like fields, so surely like weather conditions, like because if the ground's soft, all different sort of like I can understand that fear because I always have that sort of like element of like
Yeah.
how safe. But I still go. I've enjoyed them, but you do get that sort of like okay.
like yesterday, what is the name of the ride type that Spin Jam was?
Orbiter.
An Orbiter. So I went on the one at Stoke Winter Wonderland yesterday. And so the first cycle I had, because I did it like 3 times, I think, somehow. So the first cycle was like, just felt like a normal cycle. The second time, halfway through, you know how it like spins? It stopped, but the seats still continued rotating. And honestly, I was fearing for my life because I also had an Insta360 strapped to my hand. So I was like, if this comes loose, it's not going to fly off, but it's going to fall. But like the seats were still spinning. But then
when I worked for the fairground around here, I used to be opping on the waltzer and they were fun. Like early on in the day, you just do the
Mm.
slow cycle, and towards the end of the night, you just put everything on max. It would just be
Yeah.
carnage.
I went. This is basically just a review of my day yesterday, but I went on. You know, like what Funkenfly was, Super Troopers. I think that's what they're called.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So-
paratrooper or something, isn't it?
Paratrooper, yeah.
So I went on one of them, and I don't know how we were allowed to ride this, but it took about 5 minutes for us to actually get off the ground, only for us to come back down. You know how they have like the electrical cabinets in the op cabin?
Yeah.
Brother started going in. He started like opening the door, messing about with some wires, shut it, and sent the ride.
Can I
Like-
just say, Darren looks evil holding that cat. He looks like, you know, the James Bond scene. Hold on, let me recreate this.
No, he's
Let
like
me
Feathers
recreate it.
McGraw with the sea
I know,
otter.
when he turns around, going like that with the cat.
Yes.
No, he's like Feathers McGraw with the
Well, with
sea
the
otter.
seal. Yeah, with the seal.
He's the baby.
Also, another bit after I don't know who mentioned it. Owen mentioned it, but slingshots.
Oh no, they terrify the crap
Yeah,
out of
no,
me.
I
I haven't done one. I
Mhm.
really want to.
I've done the one on Blackpool South Pier, and that was terrifying. Because it's on the end of a pier. It's even more terrifying.
Yeah.
I've done that. Yeah, I was going to say I've done the one at Blackpool, and is that the one? It wasn't the slingshot, but it was the one where it takes you up
Oh,
on the
I've done
carpet
the
and then you
s-
Oh,
swing.
hey, Josh.
The Sky
I
Coaster,
didn't
I've done
realise
that one
Josh
as
was
well.
here.
Yeah,
No,
no.
I was dragged onto doing them when I was 10.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, God.
They were terrifying.
and
I
There's a
just
video
thought
of
of
me
another
doing
ride.
it somewhere, but it's not family friendly.
Mm.
There's a lot of swearing in it.
Also, what is it? Boosters. I cannot do
Yes.
them. Boosters.
I can do boosters. I quite like a good booster.
I'm gonna
never
try
done
one.
I can't.
I'm gonna
It's on my
try
list
one
for this
on.
year.
What
I've
day
done
would
one
it
at a
be?
festival while drunk, and that was even more fun because you just lose all sense of like your fear. It's just gone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
do
would
one
do
on
one,
Wednesday.
but it wouldn't be PG.
It was not PG when I did it either.
I'm gonna do one on Wednesday. I don't know whether to film my reaction because it definitely won't
Do
be
it.
PG. I
do
probably
it.
am.
There's
Film
one
it and
across the
send
road
it to
at
me.
Fancy Island,
Yeah.
isn't there?
Not anymore. Because I think when we went, Abby, it wasn't there.
No, it
But-
won't open.
Like, because I went I think I went in August and it was there.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the rides there are temporary.
Could
Like,
be.
you know, the like magic ride that we went on that was like, looked like Euro coasters trains.
Yeah.
Like, it was in like the back corner near one of the scare mazes. Like, that's
Yeah.
gone. That's now in pieces in the car park, like
Oh.
ready to be sent somewhere else.
Oh.
And also the maze next to it, that's also been demolished.
Oh. Yeah.
The
Wait, the
zombie
maze?
one, the
Yeah.
outpost.
Yeah, that's gone.
Yes. I hated it when I did it. Well, I didn't hate it,
Hang
but
on.
it was awful. I had the same guy following me around, just going,
It wasn't an actor, it was a local.
No,
Oh,
I
that
get
is a burn.
I get-
Have you been to Skegness Pleasure Beach?
Oh no, that's even
I
worse.
haven't
That's
been.
Chab Central. It's honestly, yeah.
We should do like a collaborator, like group trip to Fantasy Island at some point, but then also go over to Skegness Pleasure Beach because you'll see Fantasy Island is bad. Skegness Pleasure Beach is even worse.
Oh, God.
It's
And my favourite
dreadful.
ride there is the ride that had the accident.
Oh, yeah.
That was actually like one of the reasons I was scared yesterday for the Super Trooper because I was like it, you know how it tilts? I was like,
Oh yeah.
this feels like it's tilting more than they look like they do. And I was like, no, please, no, please. Like, yeah. Like, I do not
Yeah.
want it to happen to me, and luckily it didn't.
Yeah, I guess just accidents happen on rides, and then that just scares
Exactly.
people. Like the Smiler is a perfect example.
Yeah,
Everyone was so off put by the Smiler that whole year that accident happened, there was barely anyone going to Towers.
But now it's the safest ride, one of the safest rides in the country.
Yeah,
exactly.
And because of that accident, all modern roller coasters have the same fail-safe system in now, which will prevent that kind of accident happening on any other roller coaster.
Again,
And the thing is, you are more likely to have an accident in your car bloody going up to the theme park than you are on a roller coaster.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
Statistically, you're more
the
likely to
amount
get
of
run over
near
by a
misses
car
I've had going
on
up
the
to
road.
bloody Alton Towers round those corners, I tell you, like, woo!
Yeah.
I know.
However, I did get hurt on a roller coaster. I somehow, well, it's actually twice to be fair. So the first time was I somehow cut myself on Saw. Somehow.
not hard there.
Oh, yeah.
But somehow it was on my knee, but I don't know how I did, but yeah, I cut myself on Saw, and then also I got stung by a bee on the Smiler.
I had a bee fly into my eye when I was on Stealth once.
Do you remember coming off Rumba, Kieran?
Oh god, yeah, I got stung coming off of Rumba once as well. We had to go to A&E at Thorpe because my ankle had swollen.
Oh,
And turns out there was a wasp's nest in the exit line of Rumba.
Yeah.
And then 10 minutes later, someone had came over to first aid with the same incident, so they had to close the ride to get rid of the
there's
queue line.
one.
Yeah.
There's a wasp nest, a really big one. You know, on the back tentacle of Nemesis Reborn that goes over the brake run track. There's one at the top of that, and so
Oh, God.
I was with someone, and like, so we were in the queue for Nemesis Reborn. They closed it. They evac'd the queue line, but they didn't evac it correctly. Instead of not evac it correctly, I don't know why I said that. I meant they didn't like evac it like officially. So it was more people were leaving because they were like, it's probably not going to open for ages. But we were like, nah, we're staying. It turns out, so we got to the bit where like you could see the bee's nest. It was right above it, but because people like, you know, past merge, people were leaving from there. So we were on the first train that got sent with all the bees. And we were even front row, which was even worse. So coming into that break run, I was just like, please no, please no, please no, please no. Because like it wasn't even just like a small amount. Like there were loads. But yeah.
Yeah, there was. I remember once, there was a wasp's nest outside of the entrance of Thorpe Park, like where you collect a ride access passer, and it was like crawling out of one of the like the panels, like on the ceiling, and people were just running away because they kept flying round like everyone. It was a busy summer's day, so that whole bit of queue was just completely full of people, and they just like slowly started emerging.
That's bad.
Yeah, horrifying.
Yeah. I agree with Beth on this, though. I'm scared of Oakwood because of that.
Oh,
Scared. I
yeah.
want to go, but
Isn't it 3 things now? Maybe more?
yeah.
There's been Bounce, Treetops, and Drenched.
I think the park is just cursed at this point.
I know.
Wait, when was Treetops?
Wasn't that like 2023?
Yeah, I want to say that was last
2017.
year.
Yeah.
And then Drenched was 2007?
And Bounce was this year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the second Bounce incident, wasn't it? Because didn't Bounce have an incident once before as well?
The second?
I've got a feeling that there was an incident with Bounce before as well.
Was there?
It might not be that. I might be getting it confused with something else, but I've got a feeling it was.
No, I seem to remember seeing something as well.
The Drenched accident was 2004. The Treetops accident was 2022. The bounce accident was this year. I'm gonna say, like, if something happens in 2026, don't go in even years. So then that'll be the third. That'll be the third time that something has happened in an even year.
Jesus, yeah.
Yeah. Andy, stop being mean to Beth. Not nice. No, but look at this. He got his nose smashed on a log flume.
Yeah, but
I
log
haven't-
flumes
Splash.
basically don't have restraints. You're just sat there.
Which log flume was it? The Fantasy Island log flume. I think you could get multiple illnesses from that water.
Oh, green.
Have you seen the Rapids water?
Yeah.
It was frothing.
Mhm.
Oh, God.
And it had a smell to it as well.
Oh,
Ugh.
Delightful.
apparently it's the chlorine.
Uh,
Sure.
No, it's not. That's not. That's just. Do you know what?
What's that?
When we was at Fantasy Island, I can actually remember people standing on, like, listening or like overhearing people's conversation and then sort of saying, like, I don't want to go on it because of how dirty it looked, and it is quite
Yeah.
off-putting.
I
Like,
know.
I used to love going on log flumes as a kid. I used to lap it.
I
Same.
lapped
Quite a lot.
Tiger Rock.
I love Tiger Rock.
Not the best decision in my life, considering there were 4 of us. So firstly, we nearly got stuck at the top. Like, it honestly felt like the water level was getting lower and lower. Because each time we just stayed in, because it was, you know, the day after the attraction saw Scaremazing.
Yeah.
You know how, Darren, you were at Chessington that day, weren't you?
Which one was that?
The day after Scaremazing.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Because we saw you whilst you were on Tiger Rock, because we'd
That's
just
right.
been lapping it. And it honestly felt like the water level was getting lower and lower. And, like, at the top, you know how it's like a really, like, long turnaround?
Yes.
Halfway around that, I think we stopped for like a second, and we honestly thought, like, we were gonna get stuck.
What has Andy said? I've ridden Rugrats at Blackpool with 4 fully grown adults. This was a
Oh,
bad
God.
decision. I haven't done that at Blackpool. When I went, it was shut. And that was in 2023.
Is that at Pleasure Beach or?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
that Pleasure
the
Beach and
Nickelodeon
Land.
area.
Oh, that one. I think the only time I've ever set foot in there is A, to find a toilet, and B, to ride the coasters, and then I just left.
Oh, God.
Also, I'm going to say this now about Pleasure Beach. The Krusty Krab is a missed opportunity to make that a restaurant.
I know.
Full on
should
missed
do it.
opportunity.
They should refame the Burger King that's near it to
It's a
Krusty
Burger
Krab.
King?
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a
there's
Burger King. There's one next to Skyforce.
Oh, that one.
They should refame it to Krusty Krab. That would be great.
It's just every single thing on the menu is a Krabby Patty.
I remember Pleasure
Yeah.
Beach opening day was a nightmare. The takeover on Rugrats never happened.
There was meant to be a takeover on Rugrats.
Yeah, every year at Pleasure Beach opening weekend or opening day, there's a takeover where everyone just goes and combats Rugrats.
Oh.
It was quite an organised thing, but it never went ahead.
Oh, no.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I really want to do either Blackpool opening or Blackpool closing. However,
Don't do opening. Never do opening.
yeah, that was my thought, considering
It
the
was
absolute
horrendous
shambles.
last year. This year's opening was horrendous, and I was there. And the first day, the rain was ridiculous.
Oh, God.
Got
Like-
evac'd off of Avalanche,
Same, Beth.
Revolution.
Oh, God.
Icon had like a 2-hour
Brandon.
queue. Big one didn't even open.
Yeah.
Like, I'm also not considering, because I'm friends with a lot of people who like go out drinking later in the evening. I don't like
Oh
what I
my
don't
God,
want.
Andy.
We hit the trough when we went down the drop. We made a wave that went into the back of the boat in front.
That's just cracked me up.
Sounds about right for Rugrats.
I spent way too much on at Nickelodeon Land.
That was the
I'm
only
afraid I'm gonna have to
reliable
shoot,
area of
guys.
the park.
Because I've got Legoland tomorrow and then Chessington straight after on Tuesday.
Nice.
So,
Yeah,
and
nice.
It's past my bedtime,
Hey,
but it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Has
We'll
been.
have to get together again soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, so I will love you and leave you. But
Okay.
see you
Bye-bye.
soon, guys.
Bye.
Take it
Bye.
easy.
Right.
Bye.
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 The fossils left the building. Well, not building. Chat.
To be fair though, on that comment about Nickelodeon Land, that's the most reliable area of the park at Pleasure Beach opening weekend.
I feel like there's always going to be issues at opening weekend. Like,
That always is at every park.
Operations at Pleasure Beach have gone downhill. Like Icon's first 2 years, operations were incredible. They used to have all 3 trains on the circuit. Now they only ever run 2, one with Enzo at all times. They never run all 3.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
that's
gonna-
a good question.
Smiler.
Galactica.
Wickerman.
Wickerman. Yes, Wickerman.
Even though he's
Okay,
literally
fine.
wearing a Nemesis Reborn hoodie. But yeah, Wickerman. Easily Wickerman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably go Wicker Man.
Hex. Oh god.
Oh, yes.
I've never done Hex, so
I love Hex,
Honestly, the Hex
especially as
soundtrack.
it's reopened.
This is probably like one of the saddest things you've heard all day. But I have this weird thing where every time I get into my dad's car, because he's got the weird speakers that are like in the seats as well, so it's like
Yeah.
makes the audio better.
oh, fancy car then.
So
Oh
basically,
my god. That is so real, Josh.
wait, it's not showing me the chat.
How have you never done Hex though? That's criminal.
Because I've only ever been to Towers twice, and Hex has
Mm.
been closed on both occasions.
I've never done it either.
So good.
How do you feel about like Chessington sort of now moving more over towards like IPs and steering
I
away
like
from
it.
like their route? Do you?
I quite
Eh.
like it 'cause it's bringing something new, but the selection in IPs is what I don't get.
I don't like Minecraft, but
Because
the other
why
area.
Minecraft?
Mm.
Why Minecraft?
It's
I
going to be
mean,
like
it
Angry
still
Birds
is
Land.
popular. It still
It's
is a
going to
bit
be popular,
popular.
but like if they pull it off well, that's the big thing. Can they pull it off?
It'll be popular for
think
like
they
a
will.
year, but then I think it will die down like what happened to Angry Birds Land. Like it overstayed its welcome and it wasn't just popular anymore. And I think that's what's going to happen with
Yeah.
Minecraft.
That's why the other new Chessington area will be good, because apparently it's like their own IP. So it's
Yeah,
going to
so
be
it'll stick for
original.
longer.
Because Chessington
Yeah.
and Jumanji did that amazingly. Like if they can carry that on with other IPs, that would be where it's good. But it's Merlin. We never know.
Mm.
Yeah, like Jumanji, they did right, which I think is why it stuck and why it did so well. But Minecraft, I haven't got hope for them pulling it off as well as they did with Jumanji.
Yeah,
I
Jumanji is so good.
I think that
I
was
just
an
feel like with
extremely lucky
IPs,
hit.
I just feel like with IPs, they've got such a short like shelf life. Like look
Yeah,
at The
true.
Walking Dead. Like The Walking Dead, for example. I think the only one that sort of really had any, I would say, a good prevalence throughout the whole time it's been sort of going is Saw.
Exactly, because you've had Saw Alive out of that, and then the ride is still there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I,
You can
and I
make
still
it jungle
think
themed. Yeah, just make it jungle themed. That's what you do, Beth.
Yeah, it's not hard to do Jumanji to Jungle.
Yeah.
Surely all
I will ban you in a minute. So stop. Ignore him.
the other thing with like the jungle, like if they could like change, like no, if it had to be changed, surely all they need to do is change anything that says the word Jumanji, like all they could rename it to is the Jungle,
Yeah, the
Like-
jungle.
like they did with Thorpe Park, because no one cared about it. The only time that people cared about it being called the Jungle is when it got changed.
It's because no one knew it was called the Jungle.
Exactly. Like, I think people just assumed it was called the Jungle because Nemesis Inferno is going through a jungle.
Yeah, but that's the little touches and references from the films. Oh my god, that is such a good song.
Well,
Giving me Tropic Thunder flashbacks.
Every time someone does a Jumanji post, there's still that song.
No, it's the OG's Tropic Thunder.
That is a good
Um,
song.
Oh. Thing is, what would the next big IP other than Minecraft be for Merlin? Because I can see them going for more IP routes now with the new
Yeah,
COO.
I would say
I-
Bluey, but obviously
Bluey's
they're doing
Bluey's
it
a
thingy.
C, Bluey's an IP under
CBeebies.
CBeebies, and only basically, well, Disney and CBeebies have the license to do that.
I was discussing this with someone the other day. We got, what did we get? I can't remember. We said Bluey, although like should be going to Alton Towers.
Bluey
which
is
rumoured
going
to
to the new coaster at Towers is going to be Bluey themed. Let's admit it.
Yeah, it is. And then I think we got Shaun the Sheep and Pingu.
Shaun the Sheep is BBC, so that
damn
can't
it.
Well,
be.
we've got Wallace the Gromit, and we got Wallace the Gromit ride at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. So
I think it's gonna be, you know how it's like Julia Donaldson and all of them books. I think that new kids area is gonna be themed to them and like more expand on that, because I feel like in the past few years that's kind of just died.
If it's Stickman, I will love it.
Yes.
I love Stickman. Special place in my heart.
Hang on.
Real.
What other Julia Donaldson stories are big? I can't remember. I know Stickman's big.
Stickman, George's
Gruffalo's
Johnny,
Child.
George the Giant, or whatever he's called.
Hold on, let me search.
Julia Donaldson.
Zog. Room on the
Oh.
Broom. Room on the Broom.
that's already
only
the ride.
that thing. Yeah. I think
Oh,
Zog.
I
That'd
don't
be
even
good.
know. Can you actually call that? Hang on. Let me have a look at like the.
What I think they should base a
Right.
dart ride on is the Roald Dahl books. Do a proper dart ride on the Roald Dahl books.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Like imagine. Roald,
Well, you
like
did
a-
have the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory ride.
I
True.
love
At
Charlie and the
Towers.
Chocolate Factory so much. Doctor
I
Who?
just-
No.
I've just had a
Can-
thought. Julia Donaldson could work really well with the new kids area at Chessington,
Exactly, it could.
because the coaster could be called like Zog's Journey, and the train is Zog. Like the children's ride B, could be. I forgot about Tiddler. You know that. You know the book about the fish.
Not
No.
really, but go on.
Wait. They're making more Julia Donaldson books.
Of course they are.
I
Anyway,
thought it
I've
was,
thought
like-
of a good question.
Go on then.
It's to do with towers. We were talking
Okay.
about that a minute ago. What is everyone's opinion on the new ride? We all know which one I mean. Toxicator.
It's just
I
a
think-
rethemes.
I think it's daft.
I think, like, I had a really good idea for the storyline, but I know it's not going to happen. So
Go on.
like, my idea of the storyline is the Seek the Truthers, because obviously they're already like kind of the roaming actors are in the Phalanx facility. So
Yeah.
what it could be is that Toxicator is either a way of how they tamed the Nemesis creature, or like how, what's it called, the Seek the Truthers. Toxicator is a way of like not exterminating the Seek the Truthers. That sounds too dark for Towers. even
Brainwashing
though-
them.
Yeah.
like almost killing off the Seek the Truthers. So like, yeah. However,
yeah.
like I think everybody knows this at this point, but Galactica at the end of this season was meant to get a retheme
It was.
because
See, I feel like they've done the flat ride to then tie into the Galactica retheme at the end of this coming season.
Mm.
So
however, fireworks. Now they plan them fireworks months in advance, and I mean months.
Yeah.
Galactica was meant to get a retheme, like because they said in the Nemesis Reborn, like at the Nemesis Reborn VIP event, in the fireworks. Because Abby, you were there at the final day of fireworks, weren't you?
Yeah.
So you know the bit where it's like fighting with Galactica.
Mm-hmm.
Now my mum picked this up. It mentioned a bit about them keeping parts.
Go on.
In other
Yeah.
words, meaning, oh yeah, could it be that Galactica is getting rethemed, like, but not a retrack? So like they're keeping the layout, but not the theme.
Yeah.
So, but then I saw Digital Dan's video on it, and he mentioned that they were planned months in advance. So, from what like putting the pieces together, I'm assuming Galactica was meant to get a retheme, then Merlin budget cuts, because I'm assuming they like obviously they also had Toxicator. I think it's been confirmed at this point that it's Toxicator. But like Merlin budget cuts, they've probably gone like,
Yeah.
what do we do? Do we retheme Galactica or do we build this new ride?
Do you know what I think
build a
they're
new
doing?
ride. What?
I think they planned a retheme, but then it got cancelled.
So
I think they'll still do one, but not yet.
Well, like I said about like the tying in with them like reusing parts and with it being planned months in advance, surely that
Yeah.
must link up some way, because unless they've just said that just for pure speculation purposes, then there must have been something behind that.
Yeah.
I hope not, though. I love
Definitely.
Galactica. I want them to leave it alone.
Exactly.
No, you know what? As long as they keep the soundtrack on Apple Music, then I will be happy.
Do you know what? They could just lightly retheme it to like you're in like space pods escaping Earth, escaping Nemesis. Like keep the
That would
space
be
theme,
cool.
keep the name, but just make it that you're in an escape pod leaving Earth because Nemesis is like, I don't know, tearing shit up. Like get out of here, escape into space.
Yeah, that's a yeah, I agree, Beth.
Leave it as that. That's fine.
Yeah. That is a good advantage.
Now,
And I'm excited for that.
I'm not going to share the photo if you haven't seen it, but a few weeks ago, actually, somebody who works at the park actually leaked an image of the new ride.
Did
And
they?
they did actually leak the name.
Oh god.
Obviously, I'm not going to like send it, but if you do want to see it, I do have the photo, and it does confirm the
I
name of it.
don't think that's something you should probably say on a live stream that's going to be on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, basically, someone has done that.
Wouldn't be surprised. I've got pictures of things I'm not meant to at Thorpe, but I don't share them.
However, the
Mm.
photo looks AI generated,
Really?
like severely AI generated.
Oh, it might be then.
Like, there's a bit of it that, obviously, unless they've done work over the closed season, that, like, obviously, like, unless they have changed this specific part, then otherwise it is AI generated.
The way
Yeah.
you find out.
Exactly.
Do you know what one of my little theories I had sort of in my head was obviously being it Project Ocean. What I would quite like to see is it sort of be tied in with almost like the water fountain somehow,
Yeah.
like a poisoning of the water fountain, hence where like it went into like the source of the earth, hence where Nemesis come from.
I like that. No, I like that. I see that
Actually,
working.
that's cool.
That
Why was it
works.
called Why does it called Project Ocean? Then all of a sudden the fountains have come back on. It's my theory.
Yeah,
That
because
is actually really good.
the Nemesis fountains are back. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I had a stupid.
Oh my god, that's cool.
Like I had a stupid thought ages ago. I think it was like around Towers. Like as soon as it got announced, I was like, "Hang on, they could be bringing back air." And the only reason I said that is Horizon, the sun. The sun is one of the elements. What else is an element? Air. Project Ocean. Ocean, water. Water is one of the elements. What's another element? Air. It was just like, when you have them like random thoughts of, hang on, this could happen.
Mm.
But obviously not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Could be, because then obviously you could look at that. Then obviously you had the black hole that was over, and it seems that they're trying to preserve that like sort of nostalgia. They could go sort of down the black hole sort of route.
Mm.
What, just build a massive tent over Galactica?
No, I'm sort of when you're sort of talking about Project Horizon.
Oh yeah. Well, like not bringing old stuff back, but like.
I just thought of something. It's
on.
actually a cool idea. You know how Galactica's space themed?
Yeah.
What if they retheme Galactica so that they can make Project Horizon space themed?
What? So like retheme Galactica to the Phalanx, so then Project Ocean, not Project Ocean, Project Horizon could be space themed.
Mm-hmm.
They could do that. I feel like they would do like anything last minute at this point. Like it's kind of hard to tell what they would do with it.
Next thing you know, Towers are going to announce some like chaotic thing that's just going to throw everybody's speculation out the window. And it's
I'd like that, to be honest.
Do you know what? This close season has been slightly boring. I think we do need a bit of interest.
That is why I'm doing this today. To entertain people. We're all bored. We want to go to the parks.
It's 11 o'clock at night.
To be fair, it is quite weird that, like, normally Thorpe do Sparkle Project updates. We've had none of that at all this close season. And I know for a fact they are carrying on with Sparkle Project for this close season because I was told before I left working there it's going to happen. And we've had nothing.
I got told something on when I did my spawn time that they were doing some stuff to the park.
I mean, they have sort of cut back on their social media altogether, I think. I don't know if you've noticed, but like towards the start of the year and like towards the end of last year, they were very prevalent and they were sort of on top of commenting on things. They was even running like the little Thorpe Park group, weren't they? Where they were sharing like updates like exclusively to like annual pass holders and stuff like that. And then they closed that down. But then I wonder whether that's another little cutback that they've cutting back on the social media team.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It's interesting. Because I know all the things that are happening. Like they're finally painting the other half of Colossus. They finally bought the rest of the stock of the paint that's come in.
Thank God.
Yeah.
That's
they sold out the paint again?
Next time I'm in Staines, I'll let you know. I'll go to B&Q and ask.
Did they actually buy it off the shelf?
Yes.
That's funny.
I'm sorry, but if I was the owner of a theme park, yes, it's probably cheaper to buy it off the shelf. But like
it's the same. Hang on. If I shine a torch on my wall, you can see it's got a slight color resemblance to.
Have you actually bought the same paint?
Yes, I have. It's just different on a white wall.
Oh God!
Iconic.
That is iconic, actually. Seb, you need to be writing this down. You need ideas.
Right, hang on.
No, because I'm wearing the Colossus merchandise. I need to catch up to it.
Oh God, of course.
I had a stupid idea once to paint my whole entire bedroom black, and get red veins painted across my bedroom.
That would be cool, but your room would be very dark.
Yeah. I just sit with my curtains.
Don't ever paint your bedroom black. Take that from my advice. Don't. ever do that.
Yeah, I have one grey wall in here and the rest is white. But this isn't my bedroom. This is my getting ready room. All here is my makeup. Then that's my wardrobe. I have too many clothes.
Half my room is in bits.
My room's covered in theme park stuff.
So's mine. My room's
Like
covered in theme park stuff,
Covered.
teddies, and Youngblood.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've got something you guys aren't gonna get. I have a
Hi,
teddy
Tom.
from the Teddy Wall of Stitches.
That's
Wait,
so cool.
I
No,
saw
that's
what's the name?
actually so cool to have.
We were given it on the last day before the
Um,
maze closed and got deconstructed. We got told we could have
Yeah.
a teddy from Teddy Wall.
Oh,
do you not have the who? Right, I have a question then. Who has in Jack Silksnow's documentary? The doll that kept like falling off during rehearsals.
Don't get
Yeah.
me started. I have horror stories about that doll. I
Oh,
hate
okay.
that thing. I never want to see that thing in my life. My God, that thing was creepy as hell. I kid you not, I was doing opening checks, and the day before when I closed the maze, because I closed the maze and then shut it down, turn it all
Yeah.
off and stuff. Basically, the puppet had moved from pre-show
Oh,
to
no.
finale.
No,
And no one had been in the maze because I lock it up, I closed it, and then I open it the next day.
now that's actually
The
like
puppet had moved from pre-show to finale overnight after I'd locked it and unlocked it the next day.
nah,
what the
that's
hell?
I'm not kidding. It was haunted. Then the day after, I kept it in finale all day. I told no one, don't touch it, because I want to don't know if anyone's pulling a prank on me or not. The day after, it was sat on a shelf in the storeroom, the monkey room.
Oh my god.
Again, after I'd locked everything, shut it down, turned everything off.
I'm sorry, but this thing should just be burnt, and it can't do
Oh my
anything else.
god.
Like, would
It
have
was-
been one of the actors just like living in the maze. Just, like,
No,
not
because
being-
as part of my closing checks, I'd make sure every single person was out of that building. I was the only one in there. I had to turn off all the lights, all the
Oh no,
effects.
that would have been even worse.
Yeah, no,
I
I
could never do
was in that maze when it was pitch black with all the lights off.
Oh god.
Respectfully,
Nah,
no way.
I
Yeah.
can't do that. No,
I loved it. It was funny.
Yeah.
I'd
That
scare
would
the
be
shit
cool,
out
but
of security.
scary.
I'd scare the crap out of the security guard. They'd walk past the exit, went thinking, "Oh, it's not locked. We're not done yet." And then I'd pop out finale and just scare the crap out of him.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, but yeah, no, that doll is
Anyway,
actually haunted.
Yeah. Anyway, we better head off. It's getting late.
It is.
It is. Thanks for joining, everyone,
Yeah.
My
and
absolute
getting
pleasure.
me through my first live.
It's been a pleasure chatting to you all.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully, there's more.
There should be.
Take it
Right. Goodbye, guys.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Yep. See you, everyone.
Bye bye.
Oh. Bye, guys.